Hey, what's good, people, man? Platinum Bearded Dread. Tell us when to bench them. Question, man. When you get a minute, yeah, look in the mirror. Just take a long look in the mirror. Spend a couple of minutes. Look at your face. And on top of that, if you can, take a long mirror and look at your whole body. And ask yourself the question, are you enough? Are you enough? Now you might be thinking to yourself, what kind of question is that? And furthermore, of course I'm enough. In fact, let me go even deeper with this. How much would you grade yourself out of 10? 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 1? I hope you don't think this is like some sort of vain rant or whatever. But no, I mean it, man. I mean, what do you see when you look at yourself? Are you enough? I mean, with so much distraction, so much stuff coming out of social media and mainstream media, it's hard to think, you know what I mean, in silence and reflect on yourself. It really is. And it's even worse. It's made even worse now simply because you can't turn on, in fact, you never could turn on the TV without being suggested to. I mean, how many of us can honestly say that we're not influenced by, you know, our favorite celebrities, those that follow them, or favorite trends, you know? And our perception of what we call handsome or pretty is based on what's being fed to us via the media. How many of us can honestly say that we're not influenced by that? I mean, to use myself as an example, my hair is in locks because I was inspired by Bob Marley and the other Rastas. But if you look at it on a much more surface level, you think about how many times we turn on the TV and we see celebrities and, you know, artists and all that kind of stuff that look almost quote unquote perfect. And for the young ones watching this, it's even more challenging because the amount of distractions that they have, that we didn't have, or I didn't have, is mind-boggling. That chance of them really even reflecting for a few minutes is almost nil, you know. So imagine what kind of pressure they're up against when they see on social media the latest this and, you know, this person and that person. But what they don't realise here is that all those so-called celebrities have been just spent thousands upon thousands of pounds have been spent on them. You know, the best photographers, the best makeup artists, you know, the perfect angles. You know, everything has been done in such and such a way that all we see is quote unquote perfection. And to make matters worse, they tend to use young models for the TV ads because they know that the body hasn't fully developed yet, particularly females. So when you see a young girl or an older girl looking at someone who looks so petite and, you know, everything's in place and they ain't got the usual natural things that a body as a woman develops as they grow, because they haven't even got to that stage yet. And you've got these marketing agencies and who are skilled in all of that, knowing exactly where to place them, knowing that their body hasn't fully formed, but they're selling us that's the perfect body, as it were. And even those young girls that are, you know, models and stuff like that, they haven't got to the point yet where their body changes. So it's like a complete world of illusion. You know what I mean? It's a complete world of illusion, and we don't even see whether or not those people are happy either. You know, we might see them, you know, having the paparazzi around them and having loads of celeb friends and wearing the latest clothes, you know, designer clothes and handbags and stuff like that. But we don't really know what they're like behind closed doors, and are they even happy, especially when they have to deal with lights have gone down, they close the door, it's time to sleep, and it's just them one. You know, can they look in the mirror and feel satisfied with themselves and not feeling like, you know, they've had to compromise themselves on so many levels? That's why I say, are you enough? Because when are we going to be enough? You know, who are we going to look to tomorrow to inspire us as to what we should look like, the kind of weight we should be, how slim, you know? The other day was, I'm not even going to mention them, man, but the celebrity family who started the trend going, and now it's almost like if you don't fit that model, you're out of the loop. You're not really, can't really be considered beautiful. And it's a crazy one because, like I said, man, it's the children that are really under fire because, first of all, they need guidance, and secondly, those that are guided, man, have ulterior motives. What you've got to do is look at the world of modelling and the world of celebrity and see how dark it is. But if we as parents or as elders or as proper influences to the younger generation aren't really giving them the flip side to all of this, where in the hell are they headed, man? And beauty has always been a strange thing because, as cliche as it may sound, and if you really want to know what beauty is, it really is in the eye of the beholder. It always has been. You know, one man's quirk might be another man's, let me put it another way. One woman's quirk, one woman's lack of confidence might be another man's quirk that he finds cute. Ultimately, there's always someone out there, you know, who sees something in us that we might not see, and that might appeal to us, that might not appeal to the next man. I mean, ultimately, there can never be one standard of beauty because not everyone in the world is going to say, yeah, that's for me. But that whole notion that it really is in the eye of the beholder is so important because then what's the next stage? The next stage is to settle with what you have and enhance that without trying to be going against the grain of nature, as it were, transforming yourself into a completely different person, particularly based on someone that you've seen on the screen, you know? If I use myself as an example, coming up, I used to think I was too short, man. I'm not exactly tall, but I'm not exactly short either. So whenever we used to go out and parties and stuff like that, I was a bit paranoid, man. So I'd even stand on my tiptoes because I wanted to appear taller than I was. That went on for years, man. Until, you know, you grow and you settle into what you are. Or I used to think that I had too many hairs on my arms. Sometimes I'd cover it up. I'd even try and shave it off at one point. Yeah, we will talk, man. But then, you know, as you mature, you kind of grow into who you really are, and life becomes sweeter because you're not carrying that extra stress. You know, that more stress than you need to already. But it's that idea of, you know, accepting the fundamentals of what you are physically and enhancing it, not trying to change it through cosmetic surgery based on the celebrities and the stars, quote unquote, but just enhancing it. Life becomes a lot sweeter because, like I said, there's always someone that's going to raise an eyebrow and just someone who they might have thought in themselves was, yeah, you know what I mean? Real talk, man. And the thing about that is, to me, that's a level playing field because you can go to one country where you might be the most sought after in terms of beauty, but then go to another country and then you don't really get a second look. You know, they don't consider you anything extra. That goes to tell you that everyone's perspective on what they find beautiful is very, very different. Just the way it should be. But you know what I mean? So I think the next time you look at yourself in the mirror, you have to really ask yourself, are you enough? And if not, when will you be? Where are we going to get them pointers from? Because if it's from the celebrities, then we're in trouble because ultimately they're not a happy bunch. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing all this mad surgery and, you know, transformation and, you know what I mean? So where are we going to find that point, or who are we going to look to find out that we are enough? And you know what I'm going to say, right? There's only one place to look, man. it's to reverse everything, look back into yourself. Stop. Like I said, I think it's always good to enhance, you know. But you owe it to ourselves to be the best we can, you know. There's a saying that God loves beauty, so He made beauty, right? So that's what we are in our nature. But when you're trying to change yourself, particularly based on what you see external to yourself, and what we're being fed as quote unquote beautiful, then that's where you open up a whole kind of worms. And it's like a person who's drinking salt water. They're always going to be thirsty until it kills them. You know? I hope that makes sense anyway. But yeah. But you see me, I think we're at a point, I'm not even going to bother giving myself a grade out of 10, but what I do know is that the moment we accept what we are, quote unquote, warts and all, but more importantly, celebrating the fact that there's only one of us. And so that difference that we might see as, no, I don't like it because it doesn't look like so-and-so, is what makes us unique and gives us a chance to stand out in our own way, in our own power, in our own truth, amongst billions of people on the planet. You know? Man, deep, man, really, really, really deep. And one more thing to consider is that while you might be there, or we might be there, or I might be there walking around thinking, I'm too short, or, you know, I'm too fat, or I'm getting, you know, a podge belly, or my hair, I'm losing my hair. The average person, 9 times out of 10, is not even looking at what you're in distress about. You know why? Because they're too busy looking at their own. So we're all walking around with our own little deep secrets, and we're busy thinking that the next person is looking at ours, when everyone's got their own challenges. And when you look at it like that, that's a reason to exhale and take a breath and realize that it's a waste of energy, man, worrying about what the next person thinks of how you should look. Anyway, platinum bearded dread, man. Question: are you enough? Part 1, in fact, because we're just talking about physical beauty. The next part we'll talk about personality, you know. Platinum bearded dread. Tails point the bench, Jim. Oh yeah, don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe or something. That way we can do this again. Yeah, man.